synagogue in Elkana. This is my synagogue, where my family and I used to pray every Saturday since I was a little girl. This building was built in 1996 and was planned by two residents of Elkana. The architect was Shlomo Shafrir, and the interior designer was Shmuel Haimovich, who was a disabled person who made the interior design even more special. This is the entrance court. Here, when the parents are inside in prayer, the kids can play in a defined and secure place and within the sight of their parents that's inside. This is the entrance to the synagogue, and even here you can see that there was a special thinking about disabled people. You can see both stairs and a ramp. These are the beautiful doors of the synagogue. Two heavy solid wood doors with 12 stained glass windows, which depicting the 12 tribes of Israel. For example, the crown is representing the Judah tribe that they were the kings of the nation. Let's get inside. This is the lobby of the synagogue. Here, you can take the Shabbos newspapers for reading when it gets too boring in the prayer. But don't worry, there are mostly articles about religious and biblical topics written in it, and not much gossip or politics. Now we are passing through the interior doors of the synagogue and enter the main space of the synagogue. Follow me. The first thing that obvious is the enormous size and the height of the space and the absence of columns. This is very impressive engineering achievement that in such a large space there is no even one pillar of support in the main space. This is possible thanks to the dome structure of the ceiling. And speaking of the ceiling, this ceiling is extremely impressive from the acoustically aspect. You can see that from the direction of the tanker, there is a wooden ceiling, which is known by its ability to throw the sound waves back to the audience. And above the audience, there is acoustic ceiling, which absorbs the sound waves. These kinds of ceiling's purpose is to prevent the speech noise from disturbing the rest of the audience. Let's talk about natural lighting. As you can see, there are many windows in the synagogue space, and there is also a skylight at the center of the ceiling at the highest point of the dome. This skylight brings in indirect and pleasant light into the space. In my opinion, this light brings in a spiritual touch and creates a very unique atmosphere in the space. After seeing the ceiling, look down at the floor. The flooring pattern is adjusted to the layout of the chairs. Between the chairs blocks, there are trails in straight lines towards the Holy Ark. The flooring pattern is supporting this idea by the tiles' colors and direction. A very special thing in this synagogue is the accessibility of the stage for disabled people. Usually when you enter a synagogue, you will see that the stage of the Torah reader and those who olim Torah is elevated from the floor level. But in this case, it was very important to the interior architect that everyone would be able to לענות Torah, including disabled people. So the stage remained on the floor level. Another very special thing about this synagogue is the women's section. What are you used to see in other synagogues? A women gallery that elevated from the men's section at the height of one floor or even more. But in the case of this synagogue, the women's section is actually a part of the synagogue space and the men's section, and is raised from the men's section at the height of just half a meter away. And back to the main hall. Two last things about the decoration of the synagogue. At the external walls, you can see beautiful stained glass windows that depicting the Jewish holidays by the main motifs of every holiday. For example, at the window about Passover, you can see matzah and 4 cups of wine and a seder plate. Another example, at the window about Independence Day, you can see the Israel flag. In addition, there is a special stained glass window to describe the Shabbos day and its customs. 2 chalahs, a kiddush cup, and 2 candles. Between the stained glass windows, there is a custom-made carpentry in geometrical shapes whose arrangements creates the shape of Star of David in the void between them, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed this video and your visit in Moreshet Yehudit Synagogue. Goodbye!